As you might have suspected, time here stopped while you two were on that battlefield. If my thinking is correct, the dimension to which you traveled is a kind of beach. To explain a little, our bodies
据说冥探的种类有很多种啊。
But our souls, our ka, have beaches all their own. These beaches are given form inside our brains by our beliefs, religion, philosophy, and so forth. As a result, a beach can be anything, and those anythings form a multiverse. However, if many people die at once, their beaches can become entangled, creating a strand field. This phenomenon is exacerbated in wartime by omnipresent feelings of resentment and despair. Beaches are more easily and frequently entangled. On such a beach, exits vanish and experiences cycle endlessly. Picture it like a record player. The needle skips, playing the same phrase again and again. They're fighting a battle that has no beginning or end. Round and round it goes. Now, the battlefield you visited was in Eastern Europe in World War II. Which is strange, given that the man you encountered, Clifford Unger, played no part in that conflict. I can't explain it, but if you can connect me to the chiral network, who knows what we might discover.
Still there, Sam? If so, I have a request. When you're ready, head upstairs to the delivery terminal.
据说每个人的名摊都是独一无二的，可是也是可以拿出来分享嘛。可是他们一定是要回规则才可以的，才可以分享，一般人是不行的。哎，还是会呀，还是会这个啊，记忆共享啊。
John, is that you? What are you doing here? My wife's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year.
上位。
Sorry. I didn't know you were coming.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear.
Sam, the west side of that region is covered by a massive tar belt.
那
Beyond it is Edgenut City, the last bastion of civilization you'll find.
最后一个文明堡垒。
It's your final destination.
哦，旅程
Once
终
you use
点。
the Cupid to connect it, the chiral network will span the entire continent. The rebirth of America is so close. And remember, that's where Amelie is being held captive. We need you to bring her home. But before you cross the tar belt, there's one more knot we need you to tie. Hartman will help you get it done.
新人的实验室。
Sam, I'd like for you to bring me a few things. First, the dog tags you took from that soldier. Tuck them away in a pocket so you don't misplace them. Second, Mama's corpse. Her body shows no signs of necrosis, and I, for one, would like very much to know the reason why.
哦，对啊，
Closer study may yield
没
information
错了，
that
妈
could
妈
prove
死了。
instrumental in helping
也不
us
说
to
死啊，
overcome
应该说
the
他的
struggle.
意识跟另外一个他的亲人合为一体了。
I don't have much time. See to your preparations. I'll be waiting. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
抛弃肉身。这个会有时间限制吗？没有啊。 啊，我的装备。等一下，我装备是现在什么情况？怎么那么多？穿上，然后鞋子，还要找什么？哦，对，这个啊。然后，哦，对，枪械。哇，每次打这个都好麻烦哦，都还要。有制造机吗？没有，应该不用吧？
All right, Sam. Take care of her. And don't worry, she won't go necro. Milligan special. Be funny if these Ha of ours ended up being the key to saving us all.
Ah, 直接掉在地上。啊，我不会弄这个吧？哦，这样好吧，那我也没办法了。应该可以开车吧？哦，可以啦。 好像有点远，那怎么走啊？哎，而且他的湖有一个爱心，哎，新人。啊，这样可以了啊。虽然说把车拆了。
Delivery complete. Displaying performance evaluation. Request to join UCA registered. Oh.
哎，他尸体还在啊，他在我背上。1、2、3、4，快好了啊！加热垫，加温呐。他好像是做什么研究的，这边都是一些石头，还有一些化石。
Please proceed into the facility with the cadaver.
附身到什么意思啊？附身？这什么东西？异形。什么是附身倒数啊？还剩余30几秒哎，是指这个人吗？太流泪了。第8章。
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down. Glad you could make it, Sam.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you, but I am what I am. Ah, please lay her down there. Still no sign of them.
You know your heart stops beating.
It stops every 21 minutes. I spend 3 minutes on the beach, and then return. 60 deaths and 60 resurrections per day. 60 opportunities to search the beach for my departed family. This is how I live. This is my life. So, while you've traveled to and from the sea an impressive number of times, my beach count is a little higher. 218,549.
这有什么好炫耀的啊？他是为什么会变成这样子啊？
in that crater. My wife and my child. It's like looking at the shape of my heart. The doctors called it myocardial cordiphomia. Mine is an especially unusual case. I have pictures. Care to see Hartman's heart-shaped heart? No, you really should.
我为什么要看啊？
You know, I never came to terms with their loss. In the days that followed, I became obsessed with an idea that the beach is real and they are on it. I would induce cardiac arrest, 3 minutes at a time, and search for them, day after day after day.
All so you could say goodbye.
Quite the opposite. It is said that everyone's beach is different. So what if everyone's afterlife is different too? I find the thought terrifying, spending eternity alone.
Which is why I decided to find my family and make sure to move on with them.
You mean die with them?
If death would see us reunited, then yes. But the repeated cardiac arrests took their toll on my heart. The muscle gradually deformed. And after a while, they started calling me the beach scientist. Hartman. I'm glad we could have this conversation.
又来。
A body that doesn't necrotize. No sign of decomposition. It's as if she were still alive. The perfect mummy. An impeccable corpse.
What's wrong?
Where's the other thing you were supposed to bring? Ah, found it. Behold.
Wait, dead man.
It appears to be an umbilical cord. Human by the looks of it, I think. But this was no ordinary conduit between fetus and placenta. It looks more like a BT's tether. And this was Mama's? Yes. A body that doesn't necrotize and an umbilical cord connected to the beach. These are remarkable discoveries, Sam. Enough to set my sore heart racing.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
没有聊那么久吗？
Conversation gets cut
他们说21分钟就会开始进入假死状态。
I must go back to the beach and look for my wife and child. One person, one beach. That's the rule. But I'm the exception. My beach is connected to others, as if it were the beneficiary of a coronary bypass. Maybe this twisted heart of mine made it possible. All I know is that I will find them. Even if my every visit raises new questions. I'll have my answers one day. One day.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
The battlefields. The endless wars you found yourself trapped in. Why do World War era soldiers wander the beach a century after they fell? Normally the souls of the dead move on. The beach is just a corridor, a place through which they pass on the way to the other side. But if regret, resentment, a fervent desire to remain, if these feelings are powerful enough, they may give rise to an altogether different beach, a collective purgatory for an army of the damned. Clifford Unger. His misery and hatred, combined with your BB acting as some sort of catalyst, have brought these battlefields to our world.
2 minutes to cardiac arrest. Please proceed to a safe location.
It's just a theory.
You think Higgs is pulling the strings? Pulling all their strings?
Ensure you are in a stable position.
I don't know. But evidence does suggest that Higgs brought them here.
1 minute remaining. Please hold
还有
on to something secure.
假死状态
before
了。
I forget, I have a favor to ask.
Activating lab security measures.
Could you just relax until I come back? Time stops on the beach, but not in the scene. Rest assured, it'll only feel like 3 minutes to you. We'll continue this shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3分钟。啊，接下来3分钟我就在那边闲逛啊，而且我还是不能离开欸。那个是 PT 吧？他把它灌辣了欸。这感觉好像哪看过这个生物。数量还蛮多的。就是他女儿跟老婆嘛，那个心形的湖啊，是不是就是他女儿跟老婆弄成的啊？就是虚报小型的啦，有可能吗？我不确定哎。古董会叫唱片，这个我家也有一台，可是好像不太能用哎。啊，这是模型而已啊，不是灌大是什么的。想多了。到底是什么东西啊？为什么它会倒着流啊？这里面好像是水。自动体外电击器。所以说每个人名单都不一样，那他找得到自己的家人吗？他好像说他是可以与其他的人啊连接在一起。那如果换作是别人的话，那他们是不是就遇不到了？就是因为每个人的名单都不一样。还有什么你没看到的吗？
Visit 218,550.
他都要去记录一下，花几次了。
Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially onerous. Defecation, pollution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films? You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music, television shows, some very interesting short films, and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window.
Huh?
Or from
20分钟的爱
Of course.
有这种电影吗？
But honestly,
这是短片吧？
the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the search. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach. I'm already dead.
I know that feeling. Lost my family in an accident.
Well, I never expected you to open up to me.
跟抱抱。这个新的蛮有趣的。
I've read about your circumstances. I lost my family in an accident too. I was in the ICU having heart surgery, out of town, in the city. When it was clear that I was going to pull through, my wife took my daughter back to the house to collect some things for me. And then they were caught in the void outs. The city and the hospital were spared the worst, but the shockwave knocked out the power and my life support.
那他为什
I
么
woke up on the
房
beach.
间还有这种特效？我灰白的人生哦。
The people who died in the 2 void outs were there. What happened? What's going on? I
他被注过什么东西
saw
啊
my？ wife and my daughter in the procession. Hey, it's me.
哦，是电击啦，他正在被苏醒。
Where are you going? Wait! Don't leave without me. No! Don't go! Please, don't go! The ICU's backup generator kicked in, and I was brought back to life by the defibrillator. Exactly 21 minutes after my heart had stopped. And that was the last time I saw my family. It's my damned heart's fault that we were torn apart. But it's also the reason I'll see them again someday. It defines me. I am Hartman. Ever since, I've walked the beaches of others. I follow my family's footsteps for a while, and when I get tired, I return here to continue my research.
那他在名滩是待多久啊？
It's funny though.
因为时间好像不太
Even
一
when
样
my。heart stops, the pain lingers. You have any family photographs, Sam? Pity.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
You mind telling me what I'm doing here before you go back to the beach?
Oh, of course. There's a prepper-owned station in this area. Our scientists stationed there are researching material from before the Death Stranding.
What kind of material?
The Earth has a long memory. It's trying to tell a story, one that goes back to the very beginning, one that not even the Death Stranding could erase. The scientists are all colleagues of mine from the earlier expedition. I'd like you to bring them onto the chiral network. Amelie proposed we establish our research posts along this belt. Despite a worldwide search, this is the only area known to contain fossils from the late Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs died out. The assumption being that the last ones lived here, and here alone.
这是真
You
的
see,
吗？
hiding in the earth then are memories of a major mass extinction. Clues that could tell us how to survive our predicament. Certainly, that was Amelie's hope as part of the advanced team when she assigned our backup team here. The past informs the present and aids us in building the future. She was careful to impress that upon us before she went west.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
Shut up. I'm putting you on mute. Sometime later, we began to observe unusual activity in the tar belts outside Edgenot City. Vast quantities of tar began surfacing, spreading, consuming many of my colleagues, as well as a chiral way station.
怎么会有那么多焦油啊？
The whole incident defied explanation.
Think Higgs is to blame?
I don't know, but we needed that way station. It was essential to expanding the chiral network westward. That's why I'm asking you for your help in building a new one. It won't be much given the handful of equipment we've managed to scrape together. Nothing like the knot cities, that's for sure. But a knot is still a knot. Sam, I want you to use the Cupid to put the scientists on the network, then go to Armory. Afterwards, we can get back to the important job of researching the deaths.
What? 这是自动就会自己死亡啊，那怎么办？
Don't worry about him, Sam. The air mat floor absorbs the impact. I'll unlock the door for you.
自动化管家哎，他还帮他把烧肉弄反，倒过来了。靠腰嘞，白痴啊！扣20个新的，扣20个赞了。哦，他还帮我加20个啦。自动化管家哎，就跟那个东尼史塔克一样，叫什么名字啊？忘记了。
Our ultimate objective in this region is to build a replacement for a way station that was lost to the tar. The first step is to put a shelter with
那个郊游地带是不是就是那个 BT 造成的啊？
Now we don't know the first thing about Emily's status or what Higgs is up to. That's a concern for us as much as you. But we won't know more until we get to Edgenot City. And that means connecting this region for... You should start with the geologist and the paleontologist. The latter's holding something for the evo-devo biologist, so I recommend you save it for last. That way you can finish it and link up the final site in one go. Once all three are on the grid, come back here. Then we can get to work on the replacement for that lost way station.
Oh.
A geologist of ours has been studying. He's been... No doubt the result of it. Until the site is properly decontaminated, nor will his... So we need you...
Administering shock. Stand clear.
The stratum the team was investigating, the time of the infamous mass extinction, which brought the reign of the dinosaurs to a close, leaving small. It's the most recent of the Big Five, and one of the largest mass extinctions the world... In any event, our team found some... Can you guess what it was? A fossil beach. If that is indeed what it is, then he has made a tremendous discovery. Therefore, Sam,
所以说恐龙也
it
有
is essential that you deliver
他
the
们自己
Chiralian
的
scrubbing agents as soon as
死亡世
possible.
界啊。
Thermal pad. Indispensable gear for cold weather operations.
应该不用吧？
A geologist of ours is...
他反物哦，对哦，要送那东西啊！我的天啊！为什么一定要用反物质啊？
Sam, I'm sure you haven't forgotten, but you need to be extremely careful with that ant. Any erect.
有点多哎，会很远吗？要说远是不会很远啊，可是地形真的很那个哎。
We believe this is the source of the Chiralian readings. In the distant past, earthquakes cause frictional melting along fault lines, producing layers of what is known as pseudotaculite. We call these layers fossil earthquakes. Extending the principle, our fissure here is what one might term a fossil beach. The presence of Chiralium in this of all strata cannot be a mere coincidence. It strongly suggests that beaches must have appeared during the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. And not just then. The chiral network has recovered data suggesting that similar fossil beaches were discovered in strata corresponding to other extinction events too. That would seem to indicate the Big Five and all other major extinctions were accompanied by the appearance of beaches. In expanding the chiral network, you've helped us glimpse a pattern in these scattered points of data. You've furthered our individual research projects and ensured that it is only a matter of time before we recover all we have lost and solve every mystery that remains. But this is only the beginning. See this through, Sam, and there's no telling what we might learn.
所以说我们人类是目前经历了第6次大灭绝吧，就是现在。就说灭绝都跟这个死亡搁浅有关。那恐龙的 PT 是什么样子啊？我很好奇哎。哦，终于把这个反物质炸弹给处理掉。
Much appreciated, friend. Thanks to you, we can finally move ahead with the dig. I swear, this place is bad enough without having. Not that you did it after all, though I.
这个反物质炸弹，如果它爆炸的话，会有点像类似于黑洞啦。不要问我怎么知道啊，因为我在半路上就已经死掉一次了。我选了一条充满 PT 的路，然后就被他们抓到，然后就爆掉了，像黑洞啦，很像黑洞，就是把你吸进去感觉。
You can set up the chiral network while I work.
氧气罩哎，如果我戴氧气罩，是不是就不需要憋气啦
？It's a 200 million-year-old ammonite, which looks, he said, he apparently stumbled across it in a boulder field, which had previously been hidden beneath a glacier. But that's not the half of it. The man claims this ammonite has an umbilical. Color me skeptical, but the specimen merits study, and I wasn't about to leave such delicate work to him.
So I asked him to carve out the whole surrounding chunk of rock and bring. Naturally, I wanted to compare it with contemporary specimens in the vicinity, which is why I had him excavate a number of those. But what does a dumb fuck go and do? He loses the. Didn't even have the good sense to mark which container had the ammonite. The cargo was supposedly lost in the area to the south, where toxic gases have a tendency. Old Mr. Reliable claims his cargo scanner is broken, and there's no way. But you, to protect you against the fumes, I'll provide you with an oxygen mask.
据说那个氧气罩只是来防止毒气而已啊。
That fossil could represent an epical discovery. While there are examples of viviparous fish, an ammonite with an umbilical
前所未闻。
And if it is indeed too enough, could the umbilical? We must. It could. Wait. So hurry.
我靠！这个这游戏还会有落石啊！仔细看的话，这附近都是落石哎。它会不会有雪崩啊？我靠！要看一下，有可能哦。这游戏在环境的刻画其实做得还算不错哎。我以为这只是一个场景而已。 你们还会把这些场景中的一些危险啊给弄出来。如果有雪崩的话，那会更好了。这会给玩家一个危机感啊，让玩家知道不是随便一个路都可以走。 这在哪里啊？我在往前走啊！我在中间的部分再弄一个发电机啊，我怕到时候不够用。又来了！ 这如果落石落下来，刚刚就遇到一个，这次还遇到第二个。
Thank you, Sam. In reclaiming our past, we've uncovered a number of vital clues. Don't worry, I just got back. We have time. When you met with Mama, you experienced a strong antigen-antibody reaction, correct?
There was a BT in the room.
There was, but something else may have been causing it. I've discovered large quantities of chiral matter in Mama as well. Not just the usual kind that collects on our skin or on our suits. It's in all her cells. Cells that are no longer active. The BT you encountered there was special. It was her child, but also her own soul. Somehow, her car and half failed to separate. They must have remained connected through the umbilical cord. It's the only explanation.
Is that why I didn't get a bruise where she touched me?
Yes, and there's more.
10 seconds to cardiac arrest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I modified the log times. Headquarters will have no record of what we say. Look, a message from Dead Man. It came with the umbilical cord.
Sam, I'm sorry. You deserve to know what you were carrying. But I couldn't risk Di Hartman finding out about the case. So I had no choice but to keep it off the books. You've got to keep this between us. We still don't know if the director can be trusted. The umbilical cord was taken from Bridget Strand. I removed it in secret. The cord wasn't attached to a fetus. It was outside her body. She asked me to take care of it. Said it was the key to unlocking the Death Stranding. But she insisted that I never tell the director. The cord shows no sign of decomposition or necrotization. Almost as if it's frozen in time. I thought Hartman might be able to make sense of it. So I had it hidden in the cargo at Mountain North Sea.
Deadman's observations were accurate. It's just like Mama's corpse.
What do you mean?
I mean they share a very unique property. Both contain large amounts of chiralium in their cells. In other words, the president's cord was somehow connected to the beach, and that allowed it to escape the flow of time. I've put together the bones of a theory. It's patchy, but worth sharing, I think. Life on Earth has been rocked by many extinctions, great and small, including the Big Five. And if you examine the Earth's strata, its history, if you will, you'll find chiralium deposits that can be dated to each. What if the manifestation of beaches and other associated phenomena correspond to extinction-level events?
You mean?
Yes. Our Death Stranding could just be the latest of many. The records and research you helped us to recover strongly suggest that we are in the middle of the 6th extinction.
6th extinction? Come on.
You know what this is, yes?
A frozen mammoth from 10,000 years ago.
Correct. And this?
The Iceman from 5,300 years ago.
They both had the same umbilical cords.
Bullshit.
Humor me. What if the mammoth and the Iceman weren't frozen?
You're saying time stopped for them just like it did for Mama?
Unfortunately, all these specimens were lost in the Death Stranding, so there's no way to examine the genuine articles. But some fragments of data did survive. With the aid of the chiral network, we may be able to piece together something more concrete using Evo-Devo tech. Alright, how's this? A dinosaur from 65.5 million years ago.
Huh?
Umbilical cord, not decomposed.
Only mammals have umbilical cords.
No. Only mammals have umbilical cords used for childbirth. This is something else. Call it a strand from the other side. I propose that mammalian umbilici are a sort of mimesis of the strand that then evolved over time. We shouldn't assume that everything about a Death Stranding is detrimental to life. Trilobites, ammonites, dinosaurs, the mammoth, the Iceman, all preserved as if frozen in time, all without exception found with strands, which is to say that all may have been connected to the beach. And this, when viewed in the context of the extinction entity, EE theory, leads me to surmise that organisms with strands are in fact extinction entities. You see, Sam, EEs are connected to the beach via their strands, and it is through this connection that they somehow bring about a Death Stranding.
So you're saying Bridget was an extinction entity?
It's far too soon to say anything for certain. And since you burned her body, we may never know.
Higgs said Amelie's an EE, and she doesn't have dooms like the rest of us.
Sam, think. Assume that President Strand was an EE. Isn't it possible that her daughter is too? At the very least, Higgs may hope as much now that the President is unavailable.
So he kidnaps her for EE powers or whatever to cause a mass extinction.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. I doubt a single EE is powerful enough to cause a Death Stranding, assuming Amelie is an EE.
Well, Higgs sure thinks she's got what it takes.
Indeed. And we need to get her back as soon as possible.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Ah, this one is real. Sam, go west.
How do you want me to handle Die Hardman?
With your customary reserve. Nothing good will come of him learning of our suspicions. Whatever else is going on, we still need the chiral network.
Right.
这个完人到底是好是坏啊？现在剧情都是以怀疑他的事情而发展，而且我们的这些对话，难道他就不会发现吗？比如说现在的一些监控都做得那么好了，有可能在一些小地方他们没有察觉到，实际上已经被监听了。休息一下了。而且灭绝体又是什么东西啊？听不懂哎。我只知道以前有发生过死亡搁浅啊，而且还不止1、2次，是5次，而现在山姆他们是经历第6次。